over the Rocket, leading 2-0. It's not going to be 2-0 on the other table, though. Ding is just about to equalise against Ali Carter at 1-1.
I think Ricky will have to consider taking this red on into the left corner. Can't see an easy path back to bulk. Oh, what a pot. That's fantastic. OK, you could say it's easier when you're 2-0 up, but that was a very high tariff red that he's just knocked in. Now, can he just knock this black in? And if he can, what a chance for 3-0.
What he's doing this season, a couple of semi-finals and a quarter-final, just proving to everyone that confidence is so vital.
9.
He spent 3 or 4 years, for him, in the wilderness, doing little, battling a back injury. Now, though, he's pain-free,
16.
and he's starting to play free,
17.
self-belief snooker.
Well, if he eventually goes into the pack of reds and gets a good split, he may consider an attempt at a 1-4-7 here, the way the reds are positioned, but just depends how the pack open when he goes into them.
25.
Wow, will he leave an angle now on the black to go into them? The problem I can see,
32.
potentially, are the 2 reds just above and to the right of the black on the end of the pack as we look. There could be a potential plant to that right centre pocket, but Ricky will certainly spot that if it's a potential. Well, there is a red that's just below the pink that will pot to the centre pocket, and if Ricky wanted to, I'm sure he could get to the black from it. Well, Phil, you wouldn't get a better chance than this, would you, given the position of the reds to attempt a maximum?
Well, I agree with you, Dom,
41.
but now it's a mood point. We've done all the work, and then a fairly routine pot goes astray.
This bedcloth is lightning fast, but the cushions are also playing very quickly, which doesn't help the players to control and slow down the cue ball.
Will Walden live to regret that missed black? He knows the spurts of excellence of which O'Sullivan is capable. After all, these two are linked together in the record books. In the quarter-final of the Masters in 2014, O'Sullivan scored 556 points without reply against Walden,
15.
which remains the most by any player in any match, anywhere, anytime. 5-5-6.
That is most humbling, isn't it? My goodness. He's certainly looking good here, Ronnie, to, would you believe it, win his first frame of this group.
23. $31. 38. 39.
Several shots ago, Ronnie did just push a red slightly nearer that left-hand side cushion than he would have liked. That could be his only difficulty.
46. 52. 53.
And just at the vital time, it's gone a little astray. You can still cut the red in. He'll probably play it left-handed, and he is doing. Oh, he's got it. Good pot to this black and the yellow to win his first frame of the group, having lost 3-0, 3-0 and 2-0 behind here.
$68. 70.
Well, a very nice frame ball that. It really was. Right into the heart of the pocket. Made that telltale sound off the leather.
73.
Now you wonder, is O'Sullivan off and running?
77.
Will Walden's missed black off its spot not only reshape this match, it could reshape the entire group.
82. 88. 95.
The great man, Sparks.
Good key ball there from Ronnie. Not an easy safety by any means, this for Ricky. If he plays a thin edge off the reds to the left of the pack there, he needs to catch it very thinly. Oh, played it well. Very well. That's a superb shot. Ronnie's in some difficulty here now. Can't see a path back to bulk.
Touching ball.
Hasn't played a good cue ball there. Just wonder if Ronnie may be tempted to have a take on the red to the right corner, but he isn't doing. But was able to play a good safety instead. What a pot that was from Ricky Walden. But I don't think he expected to collide with another red. Bit unlucky actually. Would have had a good chance of being on possibly the green without the cannon. Black is a very challenging pot from tight underneath that side cushion. This is not easy. Oh, well done. That was so much more difficult than the one he missed in the previous frame.
8. Nine. Ricky Walden 9.
Well, Ricky knows he can't afford mistakes like that. But has the double kiss on the black left things safe? Maybe this red is on, but it's certainly not easy. Well done.
1.
I'm sure Ronnie would have liked an angle on the blue to go into the bunch of reds, but he's still got choices of colour here.
Seven. 8.
Well, Ronnie going to the reds this time. Probably wanted just a touch more angle on the blue to do so.
13. 14.
Well, Oh, this is a better angle from Ronnie's point of view. Just needs to be careful something doesn't find a pocket somewhere. Wasn't far away. This table's so fast.
19.
And one of the byproducts of that is that when you go into the bunch to split them up, they disperse so easily. Now, what a good opportunity this is to draw level.
Yeah, Ronnie will need to try and get that pink out of the way if he can, because if he pots the black, Ronnie, it'll be tied up with the pink. So the black's no good to Ronnie at the moment. Well, I'm just beginning to think that the pink doesn't pass the red to the left corner. That would be a bigger issue for Ronnie.
26.
And he's short of pace on the blue. Shouldn't be a problem with that red that's near the right corner. As I say, if Ronnie does pot that black, it's going to be tied up right next to that pink.
One.
Now we know this table's reactive, and that is the ultimate evidence. O'Sullivan can't quite believe it. He's screwed right back into balk.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 32.
Through all of his mistakes, mishaps, bad luck today, he's not shown any emotion, but he did there. The butt of the cue went into the carpet.
1.
And isn't that just typical from Ronnie's point of view? He left Ricky the perfect angle on that red to run through and develop the pink. He's a little close to his work, Ricky, but he is on this pink. And now with the pink on its spot, Ricky can most certainly play on the black any time he chooses to.
8.
If Walden does win 3-1, of course O'Sullivan could still qualify for the playoffs, but he would have to win his last 3 matches and then hope results, indeed scorelines, go his way.
16.
Ricky's drawn level with Ronnie with that black.
24.
Needs the 3 remaining reds, now 2. And that red that's near that left-hand side cushion could be problematical. wonder if Ricky tried to leave an angle on that red there just to bring the awkward one into play, but I think he's a bit straight on it now.
31.
I don't think he's left a good angle on the pink. It's very straight. So work to do now. He may consider the green here instead.
Seven.
Mathematically, that wasn't frame and match ball, but effectively,
37.
it most probably was.
Well, an unfortunate ricochet from the top drawer of the middle pocket for Ronnie there. He's left the red on now for Ricky. Suppose there's a slight chance a cue ball could go in off in the right centre if he wasn't careful. Well, at least the red has wriggled to safety.
Both players know whoever pots the last red will be an overwhelming favourite to win the frame. And for Walden, that looks like being a cracking result. But has the red just poked its nose out from behind the pink?
Well, that may not quite be a snooker, but it may be as good as one if Ricky can only see the faintest edge of this red. Oh, he could see enough to pot it. And now that he has, if he doesn't get on a colour, he'll be disappointed. Well, that's certainly not the best kiss in the world from Ricky's point of view. He could cut the brown in, but the cue ball's going away from the yellow. This was a really good pot on the red. Ronnie was a little unfortunate to have left that.
Yeah, you're right. O'Sullivan's not had the best of run in this match overall. What about the first frame when he knocked in the brown? Cruelly running off.
Well, he's considering the brown. His cue ball will be doing some mileage. Oh, the brown's in, but the bump of the middle pocket has caused problems for Ricky, or has it? Is there a gap through to the yellow? There is. Amazing.
He's 19 in front, Walden, so he needs the yellow and the green. Oh, but that's calamitous.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
In an ideal world, O'Sullivan would prefer the green to be on its spot, but if that problem is solved, if it is a problem, the colours clearance should be plain sailing.
Ricky's problem there was that he missed the yellow by so far. That cue ball travelled nowhere near where it should have done, and it found the pocket. And that's not bad from Ronnie's point of view. He'll be very pleased with that. Good angle to stun up for the brown.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 2.
Well, having missed the green, really, really fortunate where he came to rest. O'Sullivan's terrific left-handed, there's no doubt about it, but it's a real myth. You hear people say, oh, he's as good left-handed as right. He isn't. Still, though, I expected him to pot that.
And again, this is going to be one of those horrible shots that Ronnie's faced with, where he'll be playing it at a fairly reduced pace. He'll have to put his trust in the table here, I feel. Oh, is he going to get away with this? Just about.
Let me quickly tell you that Ding has taken a 2-1 lead over Carter.
Well, Ronnie could take this on, but I don't think he has a good angle on this green. So just the safety. And it could have been better. That's an excellent shot from Ronnie, and there's lots of room around the back of this green for Ricky to go around it with the cue ball. And that's the least of his worries. He's somehow got to try and get this safe.
Oh, you miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 5.
If a miss hadn't been called there, it would never ever be called again. That was a terrible attempt by Walden. An embarrassingly bad one.
Yeah, he played the cue ball straight into the jaw of the middle pocket there. So that will be a guide for our referee Tatiana Wollaston. Ricky can clearly see the top jaw of that middle pocket then. But like I say, there's lots of room around the back of this green. Oh, he's just caught the faintest edge. Well, he's guaranteed a good cue ball here. On the whole, be delighted with that outcome.
Not so O'Sullivan with that one. Walden now 11 in front. So the brown and the blue will do.
He's just cannon that pink in front of the blue a little, so he's going to have to play this cue ball below the line of the middle pocket. Oh, he's missed the brown, I can't believe it.
Walden 3.
Well, he'd have snookered himself on the blue anyway, but probably wouldn't have done if he'd have potted the brown.
O'Sullivan needs the 3 remaining colours.
Nine. 15. 22 in the frame.
O'Sullivan engaging in brinkmanship. He badly needs a victory in this match. It looked at one point as though he Walden to. O'Sullivan breaking off in the decider. I was jumping the gun there. Karen Wilson's on next against Walden. We're just about to see the first definitive result of this session. Ding Junhui is going to beat Ali Carter 3-1. He could complete victory with a century.
73.
And worth bearing in mind that Ding
70.
won his opening match 3-1 against Martin Gould. So Ding over the line. Next up on table 2, John Higgins against Ali Carter. What a glorious pot that was. And look at the control of the cue ball.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 6.
Well, Ronnie will be pleased to see that red collide with another, otherwise it would have been close to this right-hand corner. This is a huge match for both of these players, yet to win a group match here in Group 7. Ronnie, considering this red, he knows he should be able to get the cue ball into a safe position. Well, is he going to have left it on? Not this time. But is there another? The red just above the black. Does that pot into the right corner?
Now, the fact he stayed down on that shot for its entire journey told you he wasn't quite sure whether the red was going to go or not. These pros have an instinct. They know pretty much straight away. So it must have been mighty close. And of course it was. Caught just fractionally too much of the jaw.
Ricky fortunate there that the cue ball didn't cannon the yellow 4 ball, otherwise this red to the right corner would have been on. Surely Ronnie won't consider the red next to the pink, will he? Doesn't have a good angle on it. Oh, that's fantastic. Screwed that cue ball back across the table effortlessly. That's probably the best shot of the match, I think.
Well, for me, I think that's the best shot of the day. Certainly I've seen. Underlining two things. The responsiveness of this playing surface, and 2, the timing of the great Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Well, bearing in mind that the pink's out of commission, and so is the black, I wouldn't be at all surprised here to see Ronnie go into the reds from the blue, but he has overrun it slightly. Well, that's an absolutely fabulous outcome from Ronnie's point of view. He's developed the black, he's got a choice of reds, choice of 4 or 5 even. What a chance this is for the former 6 times world champion to win his first group match here in Group 7. A must-win match from his point of view.
13.
Yes, it would raise spirits considerably. He has one more match left today over on table 2 to finish things up against Martin Gould a little later. Put the boot on the other foot. If Walden were to lose, he'd be entitled to be dispirited going into his last match of the day, which is coming up next here on table 1 against the so far undefeated Kyron Wilson. So it was 2-0 to Walden. He was on a break of 41 in the third frame. Dominic Dale was getting excited. He was talking about a 147, and I could see where he was coming from. But then Walden missed a black off its spot.
29.
And suddenly, O'Sullivan had oxygen.
Six. 37.
It's all about controlling the cue ball now from Ronnie O'Sullivan's point of view. Black would give him a lead of 50 points, just a couple more reds and colours would see him through a 3-2 victor. But he's landed rather straight on this black, I feel. So it's certainly not plain sailing just yet.
$44. 45.
We saw with the initial shot of this break O'Sullivan's great power and timing, but he's also got exquisite touch.
51.
and bags of bottled on.
Yes, well, that comes with experience, having lifted so many ranking titles and other tournaments besides. Bottle is something you can learn to a degree. You just become familiar with the pressure and what that brings.
$66. 67. $74. 75.
We both said, didn't we, when Walden missed that black, could it be a transformational moment, not just in the contest, but in the group? Maybe it will.
82.
The silkiness of O'Sullivan now on display.
Indeed so, Phil. Possible break of 139 here for Ronnie O'Sullivan. If he can take blacks with the remaining reds.
91. $98. 99. $106.
Yet another century to his unprecedented tally.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 106. Frame and a match.
The break ends there, and indeed so does the match. Ricky Walden might be thinking to himself, I could have won that 3-0. He would be correct, but in actuality it's Ronnie O'Sullivan who comes through by 3 frames to 2, and his hopes of making the semi-final playoffs in this group tomorrow have been reignited as a consequence.